Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Merry Christmas, and there is so much going on with Raid this Christmas. First, thank you Raid Channels for sponsoring this video and giving me this wonderful promo link down below in the description there in the QR code. New account with Tagoar, Venomage, Uugo and Deacon Armstrong, the best possible start to Raid. There's also a new promo code, a couple of days old at this point. I just haven't made videos for a couple of days now during Christmas. So Dear Sir Nicholas gives you some model battles, an epic tome, energy refill, some silver if you haven't used that one yet. And there's also a Christmas gift that became available yesterday and it's still going to be available for a couple of days. It's going to give you a free sacred shard, among other things. 3 rank 3 basalt, some energy refills, multi-battles, starstone, so really wonderful Christmas gift. It wasn't available when I logged into the game, even though there was an advertisement that, hey, there's going to be a Christmas gift, but I didn't even get to do my dailies. I just played a little bit and then it popped up, and after the pop-up it was also available in the store, but it wasn't there before. So just log into Raid and you need to play it a little bit for a couple of minutes and then you will get your Christmas gift. So a lot going on this Christmas. And there is more coming, because on Friday, December 26th, so tomorrow until Monday, December 29th, there's going to be an X2 event to summon epic and legendary champions from Void Shards. So better odds to find Void Epics and Void Legendaries. And that's going to be combined with 2 summon boost events. So for Friday, December 26th, for 24 hours, extend summon boost event for Lady Noel. That's Void Legendary. And then once that ends, on Saturday, December 27th, 24 hours again, extend summon boost for Tormin the Cold, another Void Legendary. And Tormin the Cold has great synergy with Hilvi, who's the current deck champion. So if you're working on the deck, then Tormin is definitely a champion that you're interested in if you don't have Tormin yet. Hilvi is worth it even alone, but Hilvi and Tormin together are even better. However, these summon boosts are not quite as impressive as they sound, because they mean that you have around a 0.12% chance to pick up a boosted legendary from Void Shard. It's a legendary, so it's 1% chance even when there's a boost going on to even get that legendary. And then even though with the boost you have around 12% chance to pick up that specific boosted legendary. But first you need to roll into a legendary, so 0.12% chance. This does synergize with the champion chase, which begins tomorrow as well. So if you open some Void Shards for the champion chase, that's totally viable during an X2, and then maybe you have a chance to pick up Tormin. However, you may get a better chance to pick up Tormin next year, because Plarium has been talking a little bit about their plans for next year, including making it easier to play the game, less time consuming with some more quick battles and stuff, and also bringing back some old fusions for 2026. They didn't tell much details, so at least some old fusions are coming back in 2026. Probably for a limited time. They wouldn't say if they're going to be all the fusions and how far they're going to extend. They did say that you cannot redo the fusions for champions you already own. So if you have, even if you have opened apparently the fusion champion from a shard afterwards, then you won't be able to do the old fusion for that. But no details, so we don't know if there's like a single type of fusion that you get to do and then you get to pick your reward from old rewards, or if they come back as they were. If you need to get the epics, how are there going to be events that you can pick them up from? If you're going to have to try to pick up something like 4 epics from shards that you can then fuse, then yeah, good luck with that. That's going to be really difficult and time consuming. Will all fusion types return? I mean, if you would have to pick up like epics from shards, then that wouldn't even work with fragment fusions. They didn't specify. So very unclear at the moment, but the potential upside for players is huge, because if you have been playing Raid for several years, just doing the fusions actually has given you a tremendously powerful collection. Because if we take a look back at what champions have been fusion champions, we don't even have to list them all because there are so many, but just the best fusion champions. Well, Tidus Black Bloom was available this year, so in July, Hybrid Fusion. Tholin Foulbeard was a classical fusion also this year. Lord Entertainer Fabian, you may have noticed Fabian around in Arena, for example, fusion from this year. Mad Hatter, also fusion from this year. Lady Noel, a classical fusion from last Christmas. Thor Feyhammer, some really powerful DPS, that's a little bit over a year ago. Packmaster Shayek and Krogheart the Throat Ripper have both been Fusion champions, although at different times. So Packmaster was a year and a half ago, and it wasn't considered very good. And then Krogheart was this year, and Krogheart then was... I mean, I got Krogheart even though I don't have Packmaster, and Krogheart is kind of mediocre. I have to say, I think Krogheart is kind of mediocre without the Packmaster, but I have also seen what Krogheart does with Packmaster, and as a combo they are really, really strong. So they are both old Fusion champs if you can complete both, or if you have one and you want to get the other and you get the opportunity to do that, then it's definitely worth picking up to complete the pair. Old Keeper Wixwell, so again Wixwell and Tidus kind of potentially can at least go together. Armance the Magnificent is a fusion from last year, so Armance and Fabian, both of those old fusions. Newt, okay. Yeah, that's nuts. So, classical fusion 2023. Pythion, I mean, just a tremendous healing character for Lizardmen. I mean, it's one of the dream characters that I've really been after. I don't have Pythion on any of my accounts. I really would want to. Knishak used to be a Christmas fusion. So, yeah, the best bomb champion. Morrigan, Mighty Uugo, KITTYCUT, if you want some block damage stuff going on. Horndig, another powerful dwarf. Underpriest Progny, one of the top champions. If you want shield-based stuff, well, Progny, Wixwell, both are old fusion champions. Rotos, the Lost Groom. So obviously there was Sanguine Maria this year. So Rotos was like before that the Undead Horde DPS. And Tormin the Cold. So the synergy champion with Hilvi, that's currently the deck champion, was also an old fusion. Then it was also in a deck a couple of years ago. So Tormin the Cold was a classical fusion originally in 2019. Not super great by himself, but in combination with Hilvi, just pure gold at the moment. And then another thing that I have to point out is Harvest Jack. Harvest Jack isn't that great right now, but Plarium also announced that they are going to buff Harvest Jack. We don't have the details yet, but that's going to happen in March. So in March 2026, there's going to be a buff to Harvest Jack. Harvest Jack used to be a fusion champion, potentially coming available again. There are some creators already right now who have Harvest Jack as part of their promo links. So new players can also start with Harvest Jack, although right now it doesn't really make sense because Harvest Jack isn't that great, but we have seen Plarium buffing those old champions. I can assume that Harvest Jack is going to be very, very much playable in March. And Sir Nicholas, the first fusion from 2019. So, I mean, if you have just champions from this list, the best old fusions, then that's a very impressive collection. And next year you will have some kind of opportunity to pick up at least some of these, but we don't know exactly how, and we don't know how many, and we don't know what sort of cost there's going to be associated with that. So yeah, that's a lot of open questions. But it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to, because the list of old fusion champions is very, very impressive. In particular, I think I wanted Pythion. That's just... Although it's kind of hard to say with all of these being offered, but it's just... I just like the champion so much. Which one do you like, by the way? Are you going to go after some of these, or maybe there's some other that I have failed to mention that should be here? That would also be good. Let me know in the comments. So, yeah, whole bunch of stuff going on this Christmas. Remember to use the promo code. Many of these promo codes lately have worked only for like a week or so. And pick up your Christmas present, only available until the 27th. And then get ready for potentially some interesting fusion stuff coming next year. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.